Hello and welcome to Nick's Naturopathic Journal. Returning to the program this week is Ben Stills.
How's it going, everybody?
Fellow quarter 3 student with me here at school. So we're going to continue talking about ketosis this week, ketogenic diets, and just what it's like to do it. So I understand that you've already done a ketogenic diet, you've already been in ketosis, so can you just kind of go a little bit into like what your experience with ketosis was? Like, was it hard to get into it, or?
Not as hard as I thought it would be. Like, I was talking to some people like before I actually started, like, you know, getting some information as much as I could, and you know, everyone was giving me like these horror stories of like, oh yeah, people like just like shut down for like 4 days and just not be able to do anything.
Oh, no.
You know, and I was like, all right, well, it's just 4 days, I get through it. But it really wasn't that bad. I mean, like, you know, I was craving carbs and I had like some slight headaches, but nothing like crazy, you know, although that could happen, you know,
right.
Everybody's different. But yeah, it's like once I got past that like first 4 days, yeah, it really wasn't that bad. My appetite was pretty suppressed. Some days I had to like force myself to eat enough.
Right.
But other than that, I settled into like, you know, the groove of things, and like it just, you know, got used to it, and just, you know, got really into it, and was like seeing the results like pretty quickly, so that like helped with the motivation to like keep it going, you know.
Awesome. So I mean you just kind of have to get over the hump, and then once you're there, it's not so difficult to do.
Yeah, I would say that the first 4 days to a week, you know, depending on how long, you know, that whatever that hump is for you, however long that's going to take, that is most likely going to be your hardest part. You know, maybe after that, you know, a couple months in, you're still doing it. Keeping the motivation might also be a challenge, but I think if you can get past that first hump, you can at least stay on the diet long enough to see some of the effects.
Awesome. Yeah, and you did mention seeing the effects last time, where you talked about losing, what, 20 pounds while doing this?
22.
22? 2 pounds is a lot of pounds.
It's a lot.
To lose, at least.
Yes.
So I mean, that's a huge benefit. I mean, a lot of people don't even get close to that when they do some sort of diet.
Yeah.
And also, you mentioned that it suppressed your hunger. Or, well,
that was somewhat
suppressed your hunger.
That was somewhat temporary.
But oh, okay.
Yeah, that went away.
But after how long?
Another week or so.
Okay.
Yeah, like.
So that's kind of part of the transition, or?
Yeah, in a sense. Like,
right.
I mean, it could have been that for me. I don't. You know, it's hard to say. I think everyone will have a slightly different experience with this diet, just because we're all slightly different.
Yeah.
You know, so. You know, what worked for me may not necessarily work for somebody else. Somebody else could do the same diet I did and maybe still not get into ketosis. Because it's not, you know, you want to stay off a sugar metabolism, but staying away from sugar is not a bulletproof method of, you know, staying in ketosis. Because if you eat too much protein, some of those amino acids are glucogenic, and you eat enough of them, bam, you're back on sugar metabolism.
Just like eating carbohydrates.